Hi Stampers, welcome back to my Valentine treat tote video tutorial. In the last video, I showed you how to create the actual holder. In this video, I'm going to show you how you decorate the front of the holder. So why don't we get started? First thing you're going to need is a piece of Sweet Always designer paper, and it was cut to 4 3/4 by 4 1/4 inch. You're also going to need a piece of Regal Rose ribbon that's been cut just a little bit wider than the DP. So flip your DP over, and you're going to take your snail adhesive, and you want to put snail on both sides. Flip your paper back over, take your Regal Rose ribbon, lay it across, and then bring the ends around back and stick it down to the snail, like so. Next thing you're going to need is a mini scalloped envelope. Now I cut this out using my Big Shot scalloped envelope die, and I'm going to grab my greeting, and you can use any greeting you'd like. This is an I love you greeting, and it's from the stamp set A Happy Heart. Using my Stamp-A-Majig, I'm going to position it in the bottom right corner of my envelope. If you've never used a Stamp-A-Majig, these are absolutely awesome. So I'm stamping it in basic black ink. Now, grab your piece of DP again, and you're going to put some snail on the back of your envelope. And you want to position your envelope over your DP, and I've got it centered. Now, you can make a little note card. I've taken a piece of Pink Pirouette cardstock, and I've cut it to 2 1/8 inch by 3 inches and stamped it with the little bird image from the Love You Much stamp set. And you can just write a little note and tuck that into your envelope. Now to create a repositionable seal on your envelope, you can use two-way glue and just apply it liberally along the flap and then let it dry. And that'll just make it tacky so that you can lightly hold your envelope sealed. Now, next thing you're going to need, so set that aside to the side for just a moment. I've taken the Birds with Leaves and Flowers die, and I've cut out 3 of the flowers. I've sponged the edges, so to do that you just grab Regal Rose ink pad and a piece of Stampin' Sponge, and you just run it along the edges of the flower like so. So you want to do that to all 3 flowers. I've also punched a hole in the center of all my flowers using the 1/16 inch handheld punch. Now I've taken another die. It's called the Scribbles Swirls die, and I've die cut 4 of them, and each one, and I've already popped it out from the cardstock, so I've kept 4 big pieces, and then I've kept 1 of these little swirls that also came with it. So you're going to need that. You're also going to need Stampin' Up's Filigree Brads and their Circle Rhinestone Brads. So first thing you're going to do, grab one of your swirls, put a little bit of two-way glue to the back, and I'm now going to tuck it underneath the corner. Oops, and you can play with the positioning. I'm going to tuck it underneath the corner of my envelope. Now if you find that the adhesive is not sticking down that well, you can also stick it down using a little bit of snail. So you see I've gotten my swirl stuck down. And I've taken one of my flowers, I have taken a small filigree brad from here, and I've inserted a small circular rhinestone brad and then opened the prongs at the back. So this one I'm going to stick down to the front using a mini glue dot. So you just pick up your mini glue dot by sticking your flower right to the mini glue dot, and then I'm going to position and stick it onto my envelope front. Now I'm going to take another of these swirls, and I'm just going to add a little bit of two-way glue to the back, and I'm now going to stick it underneath the right corner of my envelope like so. And I'm not sticking it down perfectly because I want it to pop up a little bit, because it gives it a little bit of extra dimension. Now I'm going to grab one more of these swirls, for the top right corner. And again, I'm just putting a little bit of two-way glue, and I'm just tucking this underneath the envelope. Now my next flower, I also want to tuck it just a little bit under the envelope. And now where I already punched the hole, I'm going to use that for my 1/16 of an inch handheld punch. Then I'm going to take a small rhinestone brad. Seem to have lost mine, so I've got to pull one out again. And I'm going to poke it through the hole that I just punched. Whoops. Nope, first you're going to insert your filigree, and then you're going to insert your rhinestone brad, and you're going to open the prongs in the back. Now I'm going to take the teeny weeny little piece of black, a little bit of two-way glue, and I'm going to tuck that just underneath the flower. Now you're going to grab your last black swirl, add it a little bit of glue, and I'm now going to tuck this underneath the right part of my envelope. And you kind of position that however you want it. And I'm going to take my last flower, and I'm tucking it under the top left corner. And again, I'm using the hole that I already punched as a guide. I'm using my 1/16 of an inch handheld punch to punch a hole. And I'm going to grab now my large pink rhinestone brad and then open the prongs at the back. So as you can see, it's all decorated. So now the last thing you have to do is liberally apply snail to the outer edges. And you kind of have to be careful because of all the stuff you added on the front. You've got all your snail. Now you're going to grab your tote that you made in the last video, and you've got your candies already inside, and you're now going to stick your decorated front down to the front of your tote, and you're going to grab a piece of the 1 1/4 inch Pink Pirouette Grosgrain Ribbon, and I'm just going to tie it in a half knot through the oval handle that I stamped, or that I punched. And once you've done that, I'm just tying it loosely. You're going to take your scissors and just trim the ends of your ribbon. And you're done. You've created a super cute, super quick Valentine treat holder. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. I look forward to stamping with you again.